Hi book lovers, welcome back to my channel. Since 2023 is wrapping up, I wanted to make a video about all of the romances that I didn't get to this year that I definitely need to read in 2024. These aren't going to be any new 2024 releases, but more just like books that have already come out that I still haven't gone to yet. I mean, there's always a ton. The TBR is never ending, but these are the books that I want to prioritize for 2024. I'll start off with the books that I already own physical copies of. So this one is Unlucky Like Us by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is book 12 in the Like Us series. I read up to book 11. So this is the second book in Luna and Donnelly's trilogy, which I think is wrapping up, like coming to a close in January. So their trilogy is almost done. I'll probably wait until that book comes out before getting to this one, but I definitely need to read this book. I freaking adored Misfits Like Us, which is book 11, the first book in their trilogy, so I'm excited to read more of them. Their romance gave me such good vibes, reminded me so much of the earlier Addicted series books. If you don't know who Luna and Donnelly are, Luna is Lo and Lily's daughter, and Donnelly is one of the Like Us bodyguards. He's actually bodyguarding Luna's brother, and their romance is like friends to lovers. I mean, Luna has had the biggest crush on Donnelly for a long time, but they are really good friends. They both geek out over the nerdiest things, and they're adorable together. I also love seeing Lo as a dad, as a protective dad. So this is going to be high up on my 2024 TBR. Also, this paperback that I have is actually the matte version. All the paperbacks for these books are supposed to be glossy, but Amazon messed it up when it first released and I got it pretty early, so it came in matte. But even though I love matte books, I want all my books to match, so yeah, I'll probably order another paperback of this. I also need to get to Coach by Devney Perry. It's actually been a long time since I picked up a Devney Perry book. The last series that I finished from her were the Lark Cove series and also the Jameson Valley series. So it's been a while, but I do really enjoy her books, her small town romances, romantic suspense books. They're always very feel-good and cozy, and this is one of her sports romances. It's a football romance, book 1 in the Treasure State Wildcat series, and when I first read the blurb for it, I knew I needed it because it's a second chance romance. My favorite trope. The hero is a former football star and also a single dad, and the main characters are now working together at the same college because the hero has just become the new coach. It sounds angsty, an angsty sports romance, which is exactly what I'm in the mood for. Also, I'm craving single dad romances right now after reading and loving Caught Up by Liz Tomford. So I'm just like, yes, give me more single dad sports romances. And then I have a little series that I need to get caught up on. I am a little behind. Actually, I'm all over the place with the series. I read things completely out of order. So it is the Fall and Men series by Giana Darling. I read the series. I started the series maybe 2019. I read the first 3 books and then stopped, never got past it for some reason. I don't know why, even though I really enjoyed those first 3 books. And then fast forward to 2023 when Giana Darling is back and she's just released Caution to the Wind, and I read that one, which is book 7. So right now I've only read books 1, 2, 3, and 7, and I have these 3 books to finally get to, hopefully in 2024. So book 4 is After the Fall. I might already know some spoilers about this one, but you know, it's okay. I'm still excited to read King and Cressida again because I loved their first book, which is the first book in the series. I love a good age gap romance, and I do love when the heroine is older. So this 4th book is a continuation of the first book, the first couple. And then book 5 is Inked in Lies, which I know one of my friends, it's her favorite one in the series. And after reading Caution to the Wind and getting to know a little bit about this couple and how they came to be, I am so intrigued. The couple here is Lila and Nova. They are new neighbors. He is older, another age gap here. But honestly, I have no idea what this book is going to be about because this blurb is not giving me anything. And then book 6 is Dead Man Walking. Now this one I'm also intrigued by because we have a psychopath hero here who I met in Caution to the Wind, and his obsession with his heroine there chef's kiss, so I definitely need to read this one soon. It's Priest and Bea's romance. The hero is a killer, a criminal, a psychopath, the Irish enforcer for the fallen MC. So psychopath hero, good girl heroine, and of course we have another age gap here. Giana darling loves her age gaps, which, I mean, I'm not complaining about. There is a serial killer that's targeting women in their area, and Priest becomes her bodyguard. Out of these 3 Fallen Men books, I'm probably most excited about Dead Man Walking, just because I love a psychopath hero. So yes, once I get to these 3 books, I will finally be all caught up on the Fallen Men series after like 4, almost 5 years. And then another series that I need to catch up on is the Windsor series by Catharina Maura. This series I also kind of read out of order. I've only read the 4th book, which is the latest book. I've only read The Broken Vows, so I totally skipped over the first 3 books. Book 1 is The Wrong Bride, Book 2 is The Temporary Wife, and Book 3 is The Unwanted Marriage. So we have lots of arranged marriage, marriage of convenience tropes here. I'm excited about this series though, just because I fell in love with Catharina Maura in 2023. She's one of the new favorite authors that I've discovered this year, so I'm trying to read as many books as I can from her. So far I've read like a standalone of hers, I read her Off Limits series, and the one book in the Windsor series. So I do have a bit to catch up on, but her books are just very fun. Like, you know exactly what you're getting into when you pick it up. They're all full of some good tropes. They're usually angsty, and the heroes are all billionaires. And then this is a series that I recently got for Christmas. This is the In Boonesboro trilogy by Nora Roberts, which I definitely need to read. Book 1 is The Next Always, Book 2 is The Last Boyfriend, and then Book 3 is The Perfect Hope. I have some fun things planned for the series, but also I just need to read more Nora Roberts in general. I read the very first book that she ever published as Nora Roberts, and I read like 7 of her in-depth J.D. Robb books. She has 1,000,001 more than that, so I need to get on with reading more of her. I even want to continue with the in-depth series, which I love, but it's like 50 something books now and kind of daunting. But at least this trilogy is, you know, more doable. And I did love that one book that she wrote under Nora Roberts. So the trilogy is about these 3 Montgomery brothers, Beckett, Ryder, and Owen, as they bring an intimate bed and breakfast to life in their hometown. So this first book is Beckett's romance. He is the architect of his brothers, and he gets a romance with the girl that he's had a crush on since he was 16. Book 2 is Owen. He's the organizer of the family and also runs the construction business. It's also a second chance romance. Owen was the heroine's first boyfriend back when they were kids. And this 3rd book is Ryder's book, and he gets an enemies to lovers romance. They all actually sound really cute, so I'm excited. And then I do need to read QB Tyler because I haven't read like the last few books that she's come out with. My TBR for the end of the year has been crazy, so I kind of put her in the back burner, and now she's already come out with yet another new book, a hot holiday romance, so I also need to read that one. But first up is The Worst Kept Secret. Now this one I'm hyped about because it reminds me so much of Love Unexpected, which is my favorite QB Tyler book. It's a hot taboo romance falling for your stepdad romance, and this one is also kind of a daddy type romance. It's falling for your best friend's dad. He is the single dad next door. She's had a crush on him since she was like 13. It's taboo with an age gap, which is what QB Tyler is so good at writing, and I have missed reading her steam. Like, her steam is just off the charts every time. I'm also pretty behind on another long series. This is the Black Dagger Brotherhood series by J.R. Ward, and I need to get to Lassiter. It's book 21 in the series, I believe, and of course it's Lassiter's book. I don't even know why I haven't read it yet, because I've been really excited about Lassiter since he first appeared in the series. He's such a ridiculous character, but he's grown so much. Like, he's become such an important character now, so I have been dying to read his romance. Also, I love the fact that his hardcover is just bright pink. It's so Lassiter. This is another paranormal romance from J.R. Ward. The heroine's name is Raven. I don't remember what she is or if we ever even learned, but J.R. Ward has been teasing the two of them for a couple books now, so I guess I'll see how their romance turns out. I haven't really been loving the last few Black Dagger Brotherhood books, so I'm praying that this one will make me fall back in love with the series. And then I know I said I was in a single dad sports romance mood earlier, but I'm also in the mood for marriage of convenience. That's one of the tropes that I especially fell in love with and read so much of in 2023, so I need to read more of it. And on my TBR is In a Jam by Kate Canterbury. The heroine has just been left a tulip farm from one of her great-grandmothers, and in order to get it, she has to move to a small town and also get married. And the hero, love the heroine back in high school. Yes, I love some good unrequited love on the hero side. I need more pining heroes like this. And he's also a single dad to his niece. Also, I love that the tagline here is "She was the one who got away. She just didn't know it." This is a special edition from Hello Lovely Box, and I have been wanting to read this book since I got this in the mail because it sounds so perfect for me. And also, I've just heard really good things about this one. And another series that I need to get to in 2024 is the Valenshek Legacy series by Tate James. I am obsessed with Tate James. I've read her Madison Kate series, her Hades series, and the Guild trilogy, and I've been waiting for the Valenshek Legacy series to complete before finally starting it, because that's what I did with all of her other series, and I just don't have it in me to wait after every cliffhanger, because her cliffhangers get pretty bad. I have these beautiful special editions from Mystic Box. These are the first two books. Book 1 is Heist and book 2 is Forgery. Book 3 is Restoration, and this series, unlike the rest of the series in the Shadow Grove world, this one is MF. It's not reverse harem, it's not white shoes. It's this MF couple about this crazy underworld game. The hero has won 5 times and the heroine becomes one of the new contestants. I think book 3 just came out like within the past month or so, so it's about time for me to finally get on with reading this trilogy. So far, my favorite series from Tate James, my favorite series in this whole world is the Guild trilogy, so we'll see if the Valenshek Legacy series can top that. But either way, I know I'm gonna love it because I've loved everything from Tate James. Okay, so those are all of my physical books on my 2024 TBR. I do still have a ton of other books that I need to get to that I don't own the physical copies of, like Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. This book has popped up and popped off this year. It's the first book in a trilogy, the Ruinous Love trilogy, and I'm not sure if I should wait until the trilogy is over before finally starting it. I probably won't, just because it seems like it's going to be a long time before the series is complete now that the series got picked up by a publisher. Oh wait, I just checked, and each book in the trilogy is a standalone about a different couple, so that's perfect. No need to wait then. It's a dark romantic comedy. It's friends to lovers. Both the main characters are serial killers. They are rival murderers. It just sounds like so much fun, and I know a lot of people compare it to the Mindfuck series by St. Abbey, which is one of my all-time favorite books that I read in 2023. Like everyone says, if you love the Mindfuck series, you will love Butcher and Blackbird. And honestly, it just sounds so interesting, so different, and I've heard all the right things for it, so it's high up on my 2024 TBR. And then another marriage of convenience romance that I want to read is The Pact by Suzanne Wright, and this one I want to read because I fell so in love with The Favor from Suzanne Wright this year. That one was a boss assistant marriage of convenience romance. This time it's about a couple who had a fling and they make this pact where if the heroine is still single when she turns 30, they'll get married. I also need to continue with the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. I have 2 more books left to read. I have Reckless, which is book 4. This is Theo and Winter's book. We don't actually have an Eden brother here, but Winter is the older sister of the heroine from book 1. She gets out of her toxic marriage, and then she has a one-night stand with Theo, who has been pursuing her, and it's supposed to be a one-night stand, but then she gets pregnant. So it's a surprise pregnancy romance, small town romance. Theo is of course yet another cowboy in the series, so that one is book 4. And then book 5, the last book in the series, we're finally getting Beau's romance. We have been waiting for Beau since book 1. He's like the golden boy, he's also a military hero, but he has like some secret tortured past. And this romance has a fake relationship. We have a fake engagement here. The heroine is a bartender from the wrong side of the tracks. She is younger, there is an age gap between them, and apparently she's a virgin, which I'm like, okay, fine. So yeah, this is book 5. It's the conclusion to the Chestnut Spring series, because Elsie Silver is starting a new series in 2024, which is very exciting. And I'm just excited to read more cowboys from Elsie Silver. And then I do have a couple sequels that I need to read that I started in 2023. One of them is Pucking Wild by Emily Rath. This is book 2 in the Jacksonville Race series. I read book 1 this year and absolutely adored it. Pucking Around was so good, so I definitely need to read more from Emily Rath. That was my first book of hers, and I loved her writing there. The second book is not going to be White Shoes like book 1. Unfortunately, it's going to be MF. It's actually going to be about 2 characters who were introduced in that first book. It's Tess and Ryan's book. We have an age gap with an older heroine. I know there's going to be a 3rd book coming out sometime next year, so I do want to try to get to book 2 before that one releases. And then I have a fantasy romance sequel I want to get to. This is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. This is a sequel to The Serpent and the Wings of Night, which I read this year a couple months ago. I did really enjoy that one, but I didn't feel like the immediate urge to pick up book 2 after I finished it. I mean, I liked Araya and Rain. I loved Araya especially. The ending was interesting. It had a little twist to it. The hero basically betrays the heroine, but yeah, I have their sequel on my TBR for 2024. It's probably not going to be like the first book that I read for next year, but I'm going to try to get to it sometime in 2024. I also want to continue with the Next Level series by Brianna Michaels, because I fell so in love with Glitch this year. It was a super hot read with an obsessed hero, so I need more of this. Book 2 is called Flip. This one is the best friend's sister romance. The best friend is this hero from book 1. The heroine is a single mom, and also the hero in Flip, he has had a big crush on his best friend's sister for a long time. And there's also a 3rd book called Click. This one sounds very interesting. The hero is a boudoir photographer, and so the heroine goes in to get her photographs taken, and they get into some primal kink. The hero becomes the heroine's primal dom, which I can say I've never read before, but both books sound so hot. I mean, if they're anything like Glitch, I am definitely gonna enjoy them. I also maybe kind of want to finally continue with the Legacy of God series by Rina Kent. I read God of Malice back when it first came out, and I mean, I liked it. I was interested at least. It's not my favorite from Rina Kent, but I didn't hate it. Now that the series is completing in 2024, I think the last book is releasing like in the second half of the year. I do want to try to get to the rest of the series. So I have like 4 or 5 books to read in the next year. There's Pain, Wrath, Ruin, Fury, and then the last one is God of War. They're all dark romances, new adult, college, dark romances, and I was interested in all of the different characters that I met in God of Malice, and I do want to see how things end up for them. Also on my TBR is a historical romance. Actually, I want to read more historical romances in general in 2024 because I miss them so much, but I mostly just want to read like the old school stuff. That's what has me more interested right now. And one of the historical romances that I need to get to next year is Sky O'Malley by Beatrice Small. This one is apparently a wild bodice ripper of a historical romance. Like, people say it's bonkers, and I'm so interested. The heroine is a sea captain and she gets up to a lot of stuff, I guess. And also this book did get optioned to get adapted into a TV series. It's supposedly in the works with Apple TV. I haven't really heard anything besides the fact that it's getting adapted. Like, there's been no news since then. But even though I haven't read this yet, I would still love for it to be adapted because we need more historical romances on screen, especially since Bridgerton season 3 is coming out and I'm just not interested at all. I mean, I'll still watch it, but reluctantly. There are a couple Ilona Andrews books that I need to get to next year because they're the spin-off of one of my favorite series from them. Magic Tides and Magic Claims are two novellas in the Kate Daniels Wilmington Years series, which is a spin-off of the Kate Daniels series. It's set 7 years after the end of the Kate Daniels series, and Kate and Curran and everyone, they're still getting up to stuff, and I'm dying to be back in that world again. I'm also really excited to see more of their son. Honestly, I'm just happy that Ilona Andrews decided to write more of this world because I can never get enough of it. And then after reading Manacled this year and falling in love with it, I want to read more fanfic, Hermione fanfic in 2024. I was supposed to read more like this year after Manacled, but I had a hard time getting into the second one that I tried. But on my TBR for 2024 is The Auction by Love's Becca 8, who is also Julie Soto, the author of Forget Me Not, which is a debut from this year. This is another dark romance Hermione fanfic. It's in a similar vein to Manacled, like the AU, where Voldemort wins, Harry dies, and Hermione becomes Draco's slave. It's not supposed to be as dark as Manacled, so we'll see. I am wondering though, for anyone who has read this fanfic and the series, do you think I need to read the series in order, or can I just jump right into The Auction? Because it seems like The Auction is the most popular one. And then another fanfic that I want to read is Brethman's Battle Scars. And this one's by Onyx and Elm. It's another dark Hermione romance, and every review says it's a toxic romance. I'm a little nervous about that because sometimes toxic works for me, sometimes it does not. It's a very fine line for me, so who knows where this will end up. I've heard great things though, so hopefully I love it. And then the last book that I really want to get to next year is actually a YA book, a young adult fantasy romance that blew up in 2023. You can probably guess what it is. It's Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. All of the glowing reviews for it has me so intrigued, and also it does sound really good because of the epistolary romance element. This is book 1 in a series, the Letters of Enchantment series. Book 2 just came out. It's enemies to lovers. The main characters are rival journalists, and then the whole epistolary thing is that the heroine writes letters to her brother, but instead of her brother getting them, her rival gets them and reads them and writes back to her. People love this romance. People love the writing here. I think I've heard it's got like a historical feel to it, like historical fantasy. I don't know, but I'm interested. It probably will be my one YA read for 2024. I mean, I read a young adult book in 2023, so I'll keep on my streak of one YA a year. And that's it for all the books that I need to get to in 2024. It might be a little ambitious, but we'll see if I'm able to get to all of them. I'm not sure which ones I'll read first. If anyone has suggestions on which one I should pick up first, let me know. Also, feel free to share what's on your TBR for the next year. As always, links to everything will be down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!